Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala we had, let's just go to the kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call Colres, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, usai we go bring to una different guests dem wey dey can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala we had, let's just go to the kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program.
Good morning and welcome to another beautiful edition of your program what we call Colors Right on. We had na YouTube and on Facebook. Also we dey discuss different issues them where they come from the front pages of the newspaper them. Well, today we don't come back for look at waiting don't happen inside the newspaper them where we get inside the program this morning. And after which we go, as usual, we go come to we guests. Let we discuss the different issues them we don't come up. Like always, we don't care before discuss all the issues them, but the one them we very much important, where they of interest to you, we go try we best for let we touch on the issues then they. And we expect another one guest. The one guest not already stand by with we, and we expect another one guest we for joining inside the program today for let we discuss the issues them. But we still try for reach on to them in case we get time we go join we. But in case we not get them again, still we can go on with the one guest where we get. For discuss the issue them inside the program. So no go no side, my name is Slpp, the freedom fighter. We always done the day with you inside the program of while we discuss issue. And of course the program, the one way they produce this program, in name na Elias Sabar. So we go straight off to the first paper where we get inside the program this morning. For we begin for look at the issues there also. So we go with the first paper, we are the Indigenous newspaper. The Indigenous newspaper, now the first paper where we get inside the program this morning, and it get this banner headline. We say at the 2023 Manifesto launch, Madabio, the champion of free quality education, hailed. You as well get APC should gather the fragments. You get other issue we say boosting President Bio human capital development agenda. Babadi Kamara raises momentum of football in Bo with Southern Arena. And this is another story for you inside the Indigenous for this morning. The next one at the Africa 24. We say let democracy and the rule of law thrive. SLPP APC, and you just get serving you is my greatest honor, President Bio, a political jester, and the victor foe. This is another story for you inside this edition of Africa 24, the Guardian Post. Now the next paper, we say PCKB detractors shed tears, and UDM presidential hopeful ready to lead, and blackout takes over Freetown. Ban on street jogging still in force. APC condemns police action and former MP reconcile APCian. This is another story for you inside the Guardian Post. Next paper for you inside the program this morning. Now the Open Space newspaper. We say through Marampa Mines, largest singular importation of mining equipment arrives at Freetown Terminal. Sierra Leone will become middle-income country by 2030. President Bio. And you as well get WHH promote organic cacao at Biofac at 2023. And this is another story for you inside the open space. The Premier News, now the next peak we say LRMG constructs Little Scarces school and Bio to deliver on economic growth. University of Sierra Leone NIAP host education conference. This another story for you inside this edition of the Premier News. The next one at the Sky Times, where the Prince Macaulay urged politicians to prioritize economic recovery. 2007 will repeat itself. Charles Francis Magai. You as well get Honorable Indolo T. Sandi engage bike riders on peace campaign. SLTU President educates public on union activities. This is another story for Inside the Sky Times. The next paper for this morning, now the Night Watch, we say SLPP Big 5 game changers and accelerating economic growth and building resilience. That's not the manifesto of the SLPP. And the EU launches election observer mission to Sierra Leone. President Bio investment in football is unprecedented. Babadi Kamara. And this is another story for you inside the Night Watch. The next one at the Independent Observer, we say ahead of June 24th polls, security sector tells EU of their preparedness. And this is another story for you inside this edition of the Independent Observer. The Salon Times, now the next paper, we say as SLPP launches re-election manifesto, Bio says he has made good on most of his critical promises. And through Marampa Mines, largest singular importation of mining equipment arrives at Freetown Terminal. And you as well get others to read them for you inside this paper. The Forum, now the next paper, we say Bio commits to powering sports. APC goes proactive. And threats to supply of TLMs. This is another story for you inside this edition. And of course, again, one where they say militarize our elections. Go to the next paper when a Voice of Salon, we say ECSL 50 voters dragging its feet over publication of electoral register. And you get key concern of citizen is economic recovery plans, Prince Macaulay affirms. And as prominent members resign, NGC losses relevance. And you as well get pledging support for APC in the June 24th polls. Charles Magai pose to upset SLPP dominance in Southeast. This is another story for you inside this edition of the Voice of Saloon. And the News 24, as President Bio is destined for second term. Here are the 5 game changers in the SLPP manifesto. SLP trains 52 on defensive driving. This is another story for you inside this edition of News 24. Calabash, the last paper for this morning, we say Gento receives support from a Limba community in Freetown. Prince Macaulay affirms that the key concern of citizens is an economic recovery plan. European Union launches its election observation mission to Sierra Leone, and the ECSL declares campaign for June 24th election. Suffering from liver disease helped save the life of nurse Matu Numa, the dying nurse that has saved countless lives. This is another story for you inside this edition of the Calabash newspaper. Well, now all this we get inside the program this morning as the paper them. Let's take a break and carry what we get inside the program for this morning. Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, I just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow dey lick, especially when dem cook the soup or plasas wey dem lick pass all. So na that make we dey bring to you this program wey we call Colres, as we dey look at different story dem na the front page and inside the newspaper. So no forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube, who we go bring to una different guests dem wey dey can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
All right, so welcome back. This is the program where we call Colres, right on we are on YouTube and on Facebook. Okay, so let's tell you now the person where we get inside the program today. This now one kind of big person. In name na Titus Boy Thompson. So in a person way, you know, na communication consultant and same way, so it gets Master Sabi and the salon politics and development. And same way, so in a one of the person we set up, you know, the office, the first and functional office of the First Lady. In other words, now these are the people that we put the brain together, we put the idea together for let them set up, you know, the office of the First Lady for let it be really functional inside the country. And the first person we then do that for now, Sia Nyamakuma, when the former First Lady. And same way, so it all work serious one on local and international development, partner them and on key issue. You know, we get for do with salon development and same way. So now in a writer and commentator and same way. So they do several things them on political and development issue inside the country. And as well done the work as it published on the social media and the mainstream newspaper inside Freetown and overseas where they can say abroad. And yes, and also like one thing in a development economist, you know, by training, that is to say, it gets Master Sabi as a development economist. So this is not the person where we get inside the program today, and we want to use this opportunity for welcome this person as he gets big things inside in file. So with that kind of big thing there, we can't hear waiting he get for we inside the program. Good morning, Kushe and Kabosa.
Good morning. Good morning. My family on appreciate the way they listen.
Okay, so and we get one traditional question since today at the very first time we join me inside the program, and the program in name na Colres, and we all know what in Colres mean inside we country. Basically, nothing where they can don't cook, you know, 1 or 2 days after, and then we warm in the morning, and then we eat time, we enjoy them. So basically, we design them because of the papers. They know say the papers them thing we can don't happen the day. And before, then they can put and then they publish in the morning. So I think my deliberate act for the week name the program Colres. So if that be the case, the first question I would ask you, when na the last time when you eat Colres?
Oh, Colres na my favorite, but I mean a Creole boy. Colres na my favorite. So now ask me when I will last time. Say how you enjoyed the last Colres.
Okay, so
Colres.
Okay, so what's your favorite pan the Colres the week you eat? Who's sauce?
The best Colres the cassava leaf.
Oh my god, cassava leaf again.
I tell you, cassava leaf Colres would well get of food inside.
Now Creole boy talking.
Well.
All right, so
or food will get half bone.
Yes, that one way the Chamini left nothing.
No, I will use it.
So now morning you know can get them small with then small, you know, liquid them for good on.
Well, in England a day, so I get a couple of putting away available now. Not all for talk. Anything I want to buy.
All right, so thank you for joining me inside the program.
Copy the same and go on.
All right, that's good. Thank you for joining me inside the program today.
Thank you for asking me to come.
Okay, so we want to look at the different people then we get inside the program. And first of all, let me ask you this question. We title this program. We see a lot of things them they go all around right now with regards to campaign. Of course, the whistle be don't blow yesterday, and we see the APC and the SLPP they are different level. SLPP been there na Kailawan and Kennyman. APC been there na Karine, and as well them there na Bonds. But we see after where the SLPP launched their manifesto yesterday, Africell, when a company, a mobile company, we see a lot of people they receive messages from them say, like it exactly. If I can see the thing exactly, I need to get your own opinion because we ask a question. Say, if Africell the campaign for the SLPP or then they do their work as usual. So let me go through this. A lot of the messages that we don't come inside, but this not just one. Okay, this is not the message we Africell send. The free quality school education was a game changer. It put 1 million new learners in schools. Be a game changer and secure the future for our children. Vote BO 2023. No runoff. This now from Africell, a mobile company. What do you make up of this? Now campaign the campaign for the SLPP on a normal business. What do you think? You don't decide business and government business.
I will ask one question because of the level of technology. Africell put us in at the Senam or now Africell number then they use for Senam.
Good question.
The platform they use for Senam because you get one technology where they call no reply broadcast messaging. Anybody can go to any mobile phone company and use their database and send out one message which just go up just like that. You don't get for reply to message you to reply to. They can normally say no reply to this message. So they get an advertisement. Just like we get TV advertisement. So you can go to the mobile phone. But if they say this message was sponsored by Africell or this message is coming to you by Africell, then they're not supposed to do that.
So nothing like you know. Thank you. You think critically. Now I begin to see the kind of possible we get. Nothing like that one they will say sponsored by Africell, no they. But it come out from Africell because now just I know they say Africell as a company. Now Africell number, I want to use the right word we use. Now Africell number and this Africell number don't they do the messages to people them throughout.
That's an advertisement. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because a media and platform. If the only thing is Africell cannot stop APC no for Duam or PMDC no for Duam. Any other political party one Duam and call them broadcasting. Political broadcasting. In fact, if Africell get free to SLPP, then for get free to everybody.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much for throwing light on that one day. I was thinking the same. That is why the question be now business as normal because then a business entity or na campaign then just they do for just SLPP. But because of the critical view you give, I've basically don't try to understand and regularize the whole system about that one day. And Mr. go help for do the same kind thing we you do. Now we go now to the first paper inside the program this morning. And we get the Calabash newspaper. The Calabash newspaper gets this banner airline. They basically the quote one policy ways if they look at economy and call him Prince Macaulay. He affirmed that the key concern of the cities in the right now economic recovery. So if that be the case, I want to take you into the SLPP manifesto where say, for example, the 5 game changer of the SLPP. You don't see that 5 game changer there?
Yes, I don't come across them. Yeah.
Good. So what do you make up of that 5 game changer there? We see.
Well, one of two things. Number one, all man seem for the pickup from in company, what he needs to do, other one to do. Someone come on and say getting 5 key points. We say na you say that you and bullet points for bringing the campaign, your whole campaign message into what you call bite size messaging. So you just get 5 points. You say this, that, no go to Boku. Number one, I think we get for LEONE full we say this campaign and the whole election is not at the level of what people need for understand what people want for Yerise. The campaign has been taken out of the people and domain. Now the campaign they at a level where very, very worrying. They are at the level of violence. They are at the level of state power. They are at the level of brutality and killings, extrajudicial killings. The campaign are they at policy level. And this is not my own worry. So yes, please, Macaulay was around at the last election. I think he wanted to stand for mayor at one point for APC. He is well known as a young gentleman who has very, very good ideas. He comes from the Western Hemisphere. So I think in coming with that policy-driven initiative, so let's talk about the issues where people want for you. But talking about economic development to most of the people, then we lost on them. Not only election, how they go begin telling them about economic development and campaign drivers and game changers. I think so people they need for understand what's in the go on. What's in the one for no, almost now one corporate get for B, and why one corporate don't be the price where it be so. So these are the issues we will get for bring with people and let them understand. And for level people they understand that they will get for begin to grow the economy back to the economy of production. We are not the economy of production, we are the economy of consumption. And I make with the problem. Always who they eat safe, about the buy outside. We know they even eat what they grow in the country again. Mango self now, if you want to buy Sado mango, you go to Guinea, you go buy a cheap one. First in Guinea, Sado you buy cheap Guinea mango. But now you go buy Sado mango in Guinea. Better you buy and save than you buy in a salon. So these are the dynamics.
Okay, so I want to ask for we go inside this thing quickly for the benefit of people, where they watch me right now, the issue of this 5 game changer. I go want for since you don't watch them, you don't see them, you don't know what's in the inside there. Let me just watch them quick one. The first one, where now one of the amongst the 5 big game changer now. Feed Salon, where basically then they come with the initiative for boost agriculture productivity, for ensure food security and inclusive economic growth. Yeah, what do you make up of this? Taking into consideration the effort where this government on the put in the area of agriculture, the Tomabon project and other projects, the amount of money where they don't spend in that.
You come back to again, not cut you off. I don't see you get a lot of time. Some of the issues that you bring up. They are very involved. Let not just gloss over. Agriculture and salon, let nobody not fool we. For the last 5 years, nothing has happened. Nothing not happened. The last report where I hear from Tomabom, that the Tomabom people themselves they complain they not get paid. Look the machine they bring and Timabin and they got in. They not do Tomabom na place where Mr. said don't visit. It's a very big area with very fertile. I don't know if na Boli land and Colombo, flat, arid and grassland for plant rest. Perfect land for plant rest. From yard to yard, for whose side you see, 10 miles on end, rest farm. But nobody never take advantage of her. This government come with the idea, say they will take advantage of her, they not do nothing. So that was a very big letdown. No side else, not the way agriculture make a difference. Nowhere else. First time you will get sugarcane, na Magbas, you can get rice mill, na Makeni, all of them don't go. In fact, some of the agricultural companies that will be there, that orange boom or what they call them, and towards Makeni, they don't close down. We get suffering at the agricultural sector, and that the basic sector where we people themselves they get an antomot. If people are involved in farming, then goods, when they harvest them, they go.
So the sock fin are that ethanol coming?
Sock fin is one. Is that's ethanol? Then they buy from
that biofuel.
They don't begin do cassava farms. The surrounding areas, that biofuel, the surrounding areas are McKinney. They do cassava farming where they plant particular cassava where they take convert into biofuel for supply the grid. All of that done. All of that done.
So you in just short, you think say they're going to be able to achieve this in the next 5 years?
But this is the problem because in the previous 5 years, this government supervised the rundown of the agricultural sector that would meet. Then supervising rundown. You see, because if this government, and this was supposed to be the government of agriculture, traditionally SLPP will be the government will be rice farmers, then back SLPP. But now where the rice will they produce in a salon? Ask yourself. Why we not get produce where for come out, where for sell self abroad and make foreign income for feed the country? Why we for still the buy rice? Look at the cost of rice. Why we for still the buy rice now? China and Thailand and all the other places where we get the land for grow the rice, we get the machinery, everything, the equipment don't come. As this government tell you, everything there. Rest now 1 year business. In fact, that Monty Jones rice, that new rice for Africa, the Nerika rice, they grow 3 times for the year. So every 4 months, from the time you plant them, 4 months you harvest them. Treat them for the year, that particular type of rice. Now, salon man maker, but you know they go in a salon. So we have to ask yourself, why? Because we people then turn them back on the basic thing the way they need for make the country go before, then put their attention to fighting violence and the usurping of power. This 105 years about power, nothing about the production part of the economy for people.
Okay, so you basically advised me for let we not just pass on top them, but I will still insist that we watch them briefly and then let people understand exactly what's inside this 5 game changer. We basically now get for the lead the campaign. The second one are human capital development. This one then say they want for nurture the 21st century industry. That is to say they want for make sure say they get inclusive economic growth, and then that thing we then call skilled and educated human capital. That is to say that middle, power on the technical issue. The SLPP government then say we invest on development, technical and vocational skills. This is another commitment they don't bring. This make I go back small bits to the last manifesto. So they promise, say they go build, science school. Now, all the constituency them inside the country, then promise for do other things them way for empower, library, now all the constituency and other things them, but none of this we not see. How this will be visible?
Well, that married the sweet, the bachelor's if you disappear. This married no sweet, boys. This married no sweet at all. This talk about developing human capital, you see, again, it is above people aid. The educational system in Salon don't go down rapidly. You find out, say, then they even restructure. Now then they create a exam result where election they come, all man pass. I don't wonder you about that. Say then they manufacture exam results or manufacture the scenario.
In other words, they doctor the results, you mean?
Well, that's the word that they used. So why should that happen? Me not go say then doctor them because I don't get evidence for suicide. The doctor put the scalpel and cut here and put here or so here. But what they say is the scenario not fits the practical situation on the ground. When we been go school in Salon me go school, do my first degree at Fobe College. You know they pass Fobe College if you know sabi write a proper paragraph in English. Now, picking an Fobe College, they write to you, then they write on the phone. TLK talk, SLP sleep. Come on. How can you get a country where the standards don't go down so low that ordinary conversation people are able? So whose capital development you build up? We cannot compare very well to other countries they already around with. Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia. When are they women they teach? Guinea, when are they women they send teacher? We cannot compare. Because we moved away from the traditional values of our society. We forget what we've been done to teach what and then we up and now a different thing we pan now. Every lecturer get for depends say in get for write study notes and sell them to the picking them. If you not buy study notes, they pass. How can government allow that for happen? What happened to the books? What happened to online learning? Right now, they get online learning as such a vast area. If we Minister of Education, as he say, is such a technologically minded person, why will not get access to online learning at Salon 24/7? Why picking them for they buy leaflet where everything where they need on the course for the online? All you need for them for click one button, the course booklets they open for you. And why we for allow picking them for depend on lecturer and notes when you can allow them, you can teach them for go out and do research for themselves so they can able to come in with new ideas. These are the things we are not doing. We want to teach them for push them to the level where they go bring in new ideas or to the level where they go think for themselves. If we don't put lecturer and note, what the lecturer tell them not get them back and they fail.
Okay.
Because you buy the leaflet.
This other one very much important because this now like they play with the minds of the youth. The youth them, depend highly on this one way they call employment. This now what they say on the number 3 point. Youth employment scheme, YES, yes. The presidential initiative now for create 500,000 jobs for youth in 5 years. How this possible when the government is not able for create that kind of, we not see much industry they come, we not see much company. For say all of this get for day na the hand of government, because now they talk about bloated wage bill, where the highest employment then at the hand of government. Whereas in other country like also offend we say no, not to the government. Now company them, private individuals them, now them basically they do the highest employment. So how the government plan for do this? You don't see the prospect. Say this now another thing we will see achievable.
The first challenge to this government are for build the bakery. Because if the government don't build the bakery, then we know most people are employed at the bakery. Almost every promise we go down at the bakery, and almost they're employed at the bakery. The issue for me, where really they trouble me, that the fact that politicians then feel so they can make promises or put high sounding words. These are what you call sound bites. Give me sound bites, then they feel so okay, at the end of the day, it will happen. The politics is not happening by sound bites. It's not happening by threats and violence. Because now we are either on sound bites or we're on threats and violence. If a politician wants for move, unless you're the politician of the right color, you're not going to move. Then the people are not get freedom. If people are want for young people, they want for grab and say, okay, let we challenge the situation because we're there without job, we're there without proper skills, we're there without proper prospects, then it becomes a matter of a challenge into the state's authority. Then people then feel say security forces free for shoot people and kill them. It is the problem is fundamental. We are not, our government that we have in this country right now, this SLPP government, no, they look at the people as partners in development. They look at the people as the one they hold in the goal, like a cow the way they run na field. Where you want to go away from the field, you flag them, like go back into the field and follow in company. Governments not they run like that. Governments for open up, governments for give opportunity, and government for create the environment. Government not going able to do all things. It better let private people them, they try for bringing investments and bringing jobs. But nowadays, if you're not to the right color or you're not to the right language you talk about the country, you get problem. You know, you ever bring in investor or even investors the way they can, foreign investors, and when they see the situation, it's volatile, it's violent, it's unstable. Nobody know they invest in an economy way unstable. The one the way they meet self with this government meet and carry and go court, and they lost the case then, but then still they go court. Because if you want challenge self what you predecessor don't do it in a manner that makes it look as if you want for enhance the development. Not because you want for shut down the dung so you bring your own people and come in. These are the issues. Our issues are fundamental, and they are fundamental to the point of corruption. Unless we stop that, and unless we build a trouble integrated development, you need for develop people within the system, not to people in way you develop, say, because at the end the way you sabi, you put to, everybody should be there, no one left behind. But this country left a lot, this government left a lot of people behind. So that's where we have challenges.
So since you talk about that, it just leads me exactly to the number 4 point, where they say revamping the public sector architecture, delivery efficiency and professionalism. La put and down small bit. According to them, they say in the next 5 years, they want to make sure say they develop the public sector. That is to say, they want to make sure say they bring calm, inside the system, the best and the brightest people them for let them go able for serve Sierra Leone. But I can remember in the 3 years of this president, when even they do a town hall meeting Bintumani, he come out and tell we say he not go able for work with who that not support him or who that not vote for him. When we see that exactly impact on the way how the government system they run. Brainstem where them for work with, they're not able for work with them. You think say them we really able for change that kind of mindset where they get for work with person where they feel say not support them or not vote for them but for the interest of the country?
It's not going to ever happen. You see, again, for at the risk of repeating myself, these are the fundamental problems. This government coming like for say then an invader, like na foreign forces coming and take over. You see, so all of them meet then shove to one side. Push people in. Can you imagine High Court judge, Supreme Court judge, they meet and they go home in the evening, first weeks or so when this government, they put on a government would carry the right, work and go home, pass with policeman and go take the power up and put on a taxi for let go. You see, the atmosphere wouldn't come inside be very aggressive. And that atmosphere continue for a long time. more than the first 3 years, not just the first 3 years, it continued for a long time. Then you see the rise of a tribal hegemony. The tribal hegemony means a particular group of people aligned to a particular tribe. They become the usurpers, that they're now on top. And, they get one word they call them, they new governmental law. Like for saying, now we don't term this, now we government this, 2201 now they do. Then forget, say, now a country of peoples, different type people and different people there. This government not govern for everybody. Then govern for one set of people. And even within that one set of people, then govern, not for all man, no. Whether can say a government of the Southeast, no, it's not. Now only a government of a few families in the Southeast that they get up. And this is even causing problem amongst themselves. Because now then turn around and say, well, what will we say they do, even at the Southeast, we're able to do. Why has places like Moyamba not developed up till now? Why places like Pujen left behind?
Sorry.
Because things like agriculture or fishing or other industries where before going to them places and they were investment before going, either the investment not come or whatever come in, then pull up from them places and they send them to other side where it not fit. You see? So the investment this government make, not upon development-oriented projects, the investment they make now on themselves. Too much traveling. This government travel too much. Too much. And every trip where they go, it costs we the absence of the president.
So this one, nothing where they're aware of. In the last 2018 presidential debate, the opposition leader by then, when at the president, we clearly say the last government made the waste money on foreign travel and where income made the cut and down.
I see anybody you tell her what they go laugh. This president and the president don't travel past any other president at one world.
So waiting at this problem where then they tell we one thing and then the thing where then they do a different. Like one time we can get this understanding. I don't know if that is true. Where then can say some pastor be they say do as I say, don't do as I do.
Oh no, it's the do as I say, don't do as I do syndrome. You are right. Because you see, when they come in, the difficulty has always been for African governments for understand the way which man they operate. Then feel say, unless you do certain thing in a certain way, we get power. The Ghanaian government, the Ghanaian president, they tell Joe Biden in America. All man where Joe Biden invite, all the Africans we invite for go to America, when they see like give vote up, they tell them plain. He said, until we stop for the big them people, so we're not going to ever get development in our country. Now begin look inwards. We are not looking inwards on our own countries and our neighbors for see how we get economies of scale. Take, for example, Sierra Leone rice. I worked at one point as communications expert for Ministry of Agriculture. And not say the rest are salon, but it's they go down. People then they come as far as Mali, and they can't pay the farmer then. Because most of the farmers go hungry for nearly 3 months in the year, they get food for it. Some farmers they end up eating seed every year. So what the Malians they do, they can't buy the rest, so when I get the land, we like una rest. Because Salon man not like Salon rest. They like white rest. The Malian they like that country rest. So they buy the land from them, they say una farmer, we pay una almost bushel una pool, by the time we take the balance. So we rest and they eat in a Mali more than we they eat in a Frito. Even a Sumbuya, and they eat white rice, they pass out and they eat Salon rice. So this is not the issue. We know they look for the economies of scale. Okay, if Malian they want the rest, then we go for the Malians, then we export to them in the right way, then pay the right price. But when they do that, then they can't pay half money. For that small half money they give, because government support not sustainable. For support the rice grow, let it grow in rice and harvest that. Half of the time, over half of the rest of them plant that you go to waste. But I told them the harvester, I don't waste. You don't done it, don't want it. Like go on. These are the issues. The wastages in agriculture is too much. Ordinary thing like a mango, when they take ton nectar for make juice, we never make juice na salon. Ordinary thing like mango, when mango ready for come out, if they for na gone in the got. These are the issues. Not about certain things that happen in other countries. Mango for na every coast and they gather. Mango for na other countries and Guinea and they gather, and Guinea get juice factory. Why we not forget juice? Na salon. Nationally, what they produce na salon, what they consume na salon, when a salon will produce 100%. Even with sugar, first we bring imported sugar. The Magba sugar not there again. That dirty sugar self will be not there again. So why? The government not they pay attention to what's in a productive endeavor. What's in the attention this government pay most of the time that for retain itself in power, for subdue the opposition, and for suppress the ordinary people. Because we don't see why people will come on and treat say want light and McKinney on a left with generator them for kill them. Or people then go there inside jail. Government for go inside jail, go meet and say they want for break out. We don't want to see that. When the government go meet you say, well, break away, they will kill you. It is wrong. Everything that happened, it is wrong. And for the president for come out and talk, say, we know they kill again, it shows say deep down, the conscience felt and say, well, what we don't do so far was wrong. But then there is no way you can change. Because the system where you don't set in place or the system where you allow for coming to place, I think that system don't overturn them. Genuinely, I feel say the president now is a good guy with good intentions. As somebody said, and that's what the other day, say most politicians come into politics with good intentions, but it's a situation that turns them down. You get for be a strong leader, a firm leader, where put your people and interest in front. This is what I don't see happening in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, but since you talk about that, first of all, before we end this issue of the 5 game changer, I want to carry you on this issue where you say for serve the people now the greatest opportunity. Yes, exactly. I don't get Africa 24. Serving you is my greatest honor, President Bill.
Serving the country for anybody is a great honor. Even with me, when I worked with the office of the First Lady, setting it up, I was not paid by the government of Sierra Leone, but I did it as a labor of love, and I was happy doing it. I engaged with international partners. I went as far as Tokyo, put a letter in front of the G7 summit and just don't so then give Zelensky small component. So we self do. We got a whole campaign where the Prime Minister of England in West been the lead. We all work with them and the other first ladies them. We're concerned about infant and maternal mortality. Now through that work there, we gather free medical for pregnant women, lactating mothers and children under 5. Now through that work they will do gather money they will then give it for Dwan. You see, these are the things that bring in development.
So you mean the free healthcare not through the office of the First Lady?
Last government, yes. That started from the office.
You mean the last First Lady in Sianya Makurumana initiative will make the free healthcare where we still do so?
Yes, and there is evidence. Let me write the article. The G7 leaders and read them before they vote $6 billion for Africa infrastructure. Health infrastructure.
So this brings me to the question of the First Lady. Not only first and this way we get First Lady we actually they try for push to the world platform.
Oh, Siakoma did a lot of work in the world platform, and she was Sierra Leone was well respected and rewarded for that. Siakoma brought in a lot of most of the international organizations how we work with now. We set the stage for them and do them kind of work. And the UNFPA, UNDP, Siakoma set the stage to what we call a quiet diplomacy. Not to the kind of person where they go and ally and make noise. No. Quiet diplomacy, and she worked very hard for bringing the issues around what we call FGM, issues around the FGM in a very sympathetic way. Because one of the things I can say, these are the cultures of our people. You as a politician, you don't just get overnight, you say you abandon them, or you go and call her. He said, but let me look and see how best we will make us safer for people and for conduct themselves in the traditional methods. And one of the things that we do is bring in people like a TBS, traditional birth attendants, into the mainstream. Because most men they apply, they don't allow no man doctor for look them with. Before that way people born house, like he died in the business. But they allow man for looker. So the TBS now have been trusted intermediaries. That's the first thing they do. So we make them the TBS now they take care of the woman them, and bring them come the health center and hospital so they will get proper medical care.
And that be make we see the death of the woman the way to go born picking be reduced.
That be reduce some bad one. Then so as a middle no get money for they take transport. So they go and call 5 padlock system. They get 1 box, one man they put small money in the village. They get 5 padlock and 5 key. So one man will take the money and run away. Only when somebody they in need, 95 people in the can they open that padlock, they pull the money for in transport for they go to the health center and come back. All of these things, not the thing the way you need for make noise and begin sing and dance the public with, because woman business a sensitive issue. And we with people then say what we call confidences. You get for do something, not all three you do for woman, if you open more the other and treat and talk about. Okay. So these are the sort of issues where you can do for make you get development without you not turning into politics. Not by win or loss or gain or whatever. It is about looking after the health and welfare of our young children, our young women.
Okay, so you don't work in the office of the First Lady. In fact, now you are one of the brain for that office there. This now I want to deviate you a bit. I see recently this issue of First Lady Syndrome. Now a book. I don't know if you don't see that book there.
Yeah, well, Dr.
Barbie. Yeah. Yes. Dr. Barbie. So it basically writes, what you make up of the issue of the First Lady thing?
I read the synopsis. You see, the First Lady issue, First Ladies are not voted for. They're not public officers and they're not voted for. But then they have the heir to the president. And that gives them what you call soft power, quiet diplomacy. That First Lady, where they act like will say, if forgive directive to civil servant, a problem. First Lady don't forgive directive to civil servant. First Lady go cajole civil servant, let them work together for the benefit of the country. And First Lady go use an influence over the presidency for push through certain things in a way ordinarily the presidency no go hear about. Particularly issues around woman business. Woman business only to a president or we male-dominated society care about because then half of the time they don't know about her. So when you get a First Lady way link with the people in that way, we're able to guide the presidency or guide other ministers, say, look, this thing is so and so. And when you get the First Lady in front as a champion, then other people and other ministers there, especially women ministers there, for rally around them and support so that they build a one voice situation for advocate for the welfare of women and women welfare in the country. That is what First Ladies would have to do.
So how the last First Lady been to work with, for example, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Social Welfare, for make sure say whatever thing they go get, and not they centralize the resources, rather they make sure say everybody get.
See, Akroma never look for resources for himself. It has always been about supporting the development of these particular ministries, health, social welfare.
Because we see, say the free healthcare we they talk about, so and not put her under. We not ever. Most people not even know say now under the First Lady come out. Rather, it's a Ministry of Health.
People don't know because whenever they do something, in fact, if they invite international conferences, one of the things they elect for do, they take one specialist at the particular ministry for go with them.
So this one, I bring you back to this First Lady, for example. We see Usai, even I think the Japan government, then Gi Mutuka, they're not send them to the Ministry of Social Welfare, rather than send them to the Fatima and Mada Foundation, where now them basically most of the resources they go to that foundation, they rather than the social welfare.
That means you use government position for private gain, which is wrong. That is very wrong. You see, you know they go ask for assistance for the country for go to a private Mother and Fatima build then a trust or charity where they set up, and then them for their own particular use. After they left power, all the assets of that trust, they know they come back to the government. They left to them. You see, yes, you can have a First Lady where get a trust or foundation, but enough for use that trust or foundation they. For secure private benefit for them through government. It go use the foundation for support the community. Make sure say anything they come, it go to the right community. For example, somebody will give Siakuruma a container load of toys. But I mean, say what for do with these toys? One container, we'll give this one, we'll not give this one a problem. So we decided amongst ourselves, we decide for every Christmas, because Christmas speaking they get toys. We call all the orphanages them, all across Freetown. Bring all the orphan picking them, they all come at State House, can meet with the president, spend the day with the First Lady, and give them package for good. We include them toys and give them food and what. And that made it open, number one, it opened the office of the presidency to people the way ordinarily not going to ever reach there. It opened them, you know, then normally where we can do them functionally. President Anescoma can come and let the Pekin and see him himself jolly. Not to say that it never was a state function or it never was built as a function where forget political message. It was done so that the Pekin will come, spend time with their own carers them and the mentors alongside.
So this make I ask you another question again. Now that we don't see the election, they see don't stiff one. We see even the classroom themselves, you know, then they begin talk to the Pekin them, stop the class, talk to the Pekin about politics. Pekin will not even reach the age for vote it, like they're 9 years and below. Then they even ask them between the two candidates, why you not like this, why you hate this? You know, what you make up of their system there?
When at the fundamental corruption, not the political corruption, because when you begin that, you begin build that seed of hatred, that politics is about hatred, it's about media. Politics supposed to be fluid. Yes, you make the politics depend on the ideology. What you like, what this person they do, what this party they do. And politics not for be about individuals. When politics become about individuals, then you create what with man called demigods. You create people away because of their charisma. They will lead you to a dangerous ending. So these are things that should not happen. It is unfortunate that it is happening now. It should not happen, not in this day and age. For take Pekin user as political tool and then call human shield, it is wrong. It is absolutely wrong. You know, we use Pekin as human shield for politics. You know, for use even that part distribution. I think it could have been done better. The first lady, for to go around the country, they distribute part and give political messages, and they engage with young people as if because they give a part. No. All of that was wrong. I hope, say, when the APC came to power, some of this year they will learn from them. This government did a lot of things that were bad, very, very bad, very, very bad.
So in the 5 game changer, where we see they make them fine one with a lot of big English or big words thing. You know, but we not see anything or see or hear anything where them put about uniting the people. We're very, very much serious right now. We not see anything we talk about the justice sector in the 5 game changer. We're very much serious. You know, injustice is severally they go on like everywhere, and plenty other things them we get for do with how it affects the ordinary people. Not as part of the priority, because this 5 game changer are the priority area and the way they get for work. And we not see any short-term plan. All of them say in 5 years, in 5 years, in 5 years.
Well, the difficulty, Panentia, anytime you talk by your manifesto, we the do them, it give you the moral rights for do them. You not get for begin say, oh, I need to get consultation with the people and if I do this, then go say, well, the reason this make them vote me because I've been telling them I'm a 5 game changer, then this and this I do I come and this I do. So nobody not for stop me for that. That is the the perennial law of development politics, where you don't give your manifesto, you for judge a man on the manifesto, whether you do what you say they do or not. As you say, you're right. Issues around human rights, issues around law and justice, issues around integration, issues around common community spirit, building good citizenships, all of them are not in the 5 game changer, because this is not for them. You see, to reduce politics into a them and us situation is very bad, because now it's like I was saying now them against we, and then they talk them panel language. You see, and they talk about the language, say, oh, they're not them. Then why are the native man? How you go say they're native man as if APC people are no more the thief na salon, or the SDP people are no more the thief na salon. If people in the thief na salon, all man the thief. Corruption no get tribe, you no get color, you no get age. All man corrupt. If that is the situation, no offense until you go deal with corruption as corruption. Not go deal with corruption as if na tribal sickness or a regional sickness. That is what is bringing the problem. For they put small picking and tell and say, oh, this one and so and so, that and this, then people then begin grow inbred as if them party politics now because they're not teaming and make them be APC, they're not going to be anything else. And that is wrong. You see, let we begin look at the politics as the government way they create jobs, as the government way they create opportunities for young people, as the government way they create a level playing field. Anybody can do anything you want to do. Your human rights protected. You right to property and you right to you land protected. Government will come in, take somebody in land, say, oh, well, we think it's a state land, so we take the land, elect you don't need tax here. All of these things are wrong. And this government did all of that. This government walked in and said most of the land in the Western area, the one who they give us land in the Western area. What about the lands in the provinces? Would I tell you, say, they want to go to the Western area, they want to go build land at Sumboya, or they want to go build land at Suobema, or they want to go build land.
So since you talk about land, I see this being and they give just the give land to bike riders, tricycle riders, teacher, then just continuously give land to them. What do you make up of this?
Well, again, we call it rent seeking in economics. We call it rent seeking because what it does, you use resources for connive and contrive a situation where it's not sustainable and not economical. It is not necessarily an economic production or a productive activity. You give land to bike rider, not a building. The first person to look for seller, and then the same way you now you sell back to. It has no interest. When you give ordinary land to bike rider, you don't get no interest in the land. Well, why you give land to the bike rider? Why you decant the man from outside come out for like going to a particular place? Why? Why you attempt for decanting man? Now gerrymandering, you try for create a political how you call them, constituency in an area where you don't get constituency. These are some of the things that governments do that are wrong. Because basically what you try for do, you say, okay, we're not get better team demand than down yonder, don't send Boku team demand go na Bo. So whenever they're ready for votes na Bo, we'll get the team vote, we will vote for it. That is not how you develop. Let us begin look at government ministries scattering all over the place. So that all man of the country they go. You see, in Ghana, what in Nkrumah, one of the in Nkrumah do in Ghana, it makes sure say ministries and scatter all over, and people then within a school.
Decentralization.
It send them all across. So Pikini we born in Accra, it send them go school in the north. Then in the north, it send them school in Accra. So all man, so you find out say politics in Ghana is not about tribe as much as it is about the ideology of the people.
Okay, so we don't actually come to the end of the program, but I want for let we create one small thing where we not been do it because politics in campaign don't begin. Let we begin to rating quick one, yeah, as we they go. Let's start with the issue of education. How many you give them in terms of waiting they don't do?
This government feel bad.
How much percent you will give them?
Education will give them 2%.
Why?
If you change a situation where you meet, then you don't move. Elect not to change for the good. Elect not change, moving it along the line instead of going up. Then you have moved. But they have not moved. In fact, you don't go down.
Okay. How about the area of corruption? How you go rate them?
Oh, corruption. I'll give them another 3.
Why?
Corruption. This government, the method of doing things, not corrupt. Forget about the facts of corruption that take place. Whenever you raise an issue of corruption to the anti-corruption commissioner, the first way will tell you, well, APC be non-dual. You see, you can't come into government and then you look at a current wrong as being created by a previous wrong. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And this government try for push 2 wrongs to make a right, especially in the area of corruption.
Okay.
When they talk to the office of the first lady corrupt, you say, oh, no, go check for all the other first lady if they be not ever corrupt. And even when they were not, you come out, well, the way we see the other first lady.
So since you talk about the issue of this first lady, when they go back, if they see anything with regards to the last first lady, they forbidden indict them.
Of course they're going to indict.
Because I remember when they look at the chance rebuilding, as much as then they point finger to them about things that we then don't do, then go to the last government, and now we still side and day.
Oh yes, then change, then if I then jump, man will return money on the chance rebuilding and not indict her.
So we mean say if they're not able for indict the last first lady, we mean say the last first lady was very much clean.
No. There is no way you can give this government a passing grade on anything for the simple reason that they did not act as Sierra Leoneans. They acted as a regional or a tribal government because everything that they did is to raise the profile of a particular idea or ideology way wrong for Salone. So there's nothing that they have done. Well, I mean, there's too much bloodletting. Let's call it spade a spade. Too many killings, too many incidences of killings. Not to one no Tombo, Makeni, Paremba Road, August 10, August 11. Too many killings. To the extent we ordinary man they work and treat and run at around. You see what in they run at and kill in cold blood. Then you state kill people then. Instead of give them the people and them body una bear, why government for bear much man? Well, come on. There is too much bad, too much blood that is flowed. Too much blood don't flow in a God, bro. And that is very, very difficult.
How about
the young people understand that?
The area of gender empowerment. How much you rate them?
2.
Why 2? They say they know do a lot of things them, including the election.
2. How many politicians are SLPP in a woman? How many politicians are APC in a woman? Where they enhance gender empowerment, they create laws will create a level playing field for all men. The APC went through a whole system where not bringing many women into the fore as the SLPP self-not. So they're equally guilty. Women empowerment and lip service. We need strong women. We need women for coming forward, not to just say, okay, yes, the man for doing, let the woman themselves stand up. Because we not create the environment. And the environment, the possible create environment right now, the SLPP, you cannot go back to the APC government saying that they don't cause that. No. The SLPP government are in power now, if now bringing laws where for result in a more empowered female workforce or a more empowered female political class, if we ensure say that law is effective. And that is what they have not done.
Okay, taking into consideration, I don't see the campaign begin yesterday in a month with, the alleged SLPP supporter, then they attack the APC supporter. Them, you think how you feel say the whole campaign will go on? Because we listen to the ONS NS code. It basically they tell you say anybody we not to intend for campaign, if he come out, then we'll take action against them. We don't see chair of poster them, and other things that you think say the security sector very much fear when it comes to providing equal opportunity in terms of security to all political parties, including that of the ECSL.
Well, as a politician, I always get hope in the fact that our systems and institutions are set up to be fair. We get forgive them chance, let them fall on their own weight. The issue about violence. This is going to be a violent election. It's going to be a violent election for one simple reason. This election has been taken to the level of do or die. And that is the sad thing. This is winner takes all. And what we know to understand, the focus of this election has been moved away from representing the people to electing a presidency. And that is the distinction. The election has been moved away from representing the people. All this talk about proportional representation, not just for their constituencies, them not get the right for campaign for who they want, but that the government will determine who for the particular constituency. So at the end of the day, we will get a situation where the ECSL directive now will identify how many people and the color of every constituency, while the attention is taken away from the person will actually become president. Now, the person will becomes president, the minute where they swear in as president, he takes control over every other institution. All police fall in line, police fall in line, all soldiers fall in line. And you'll be surprised at how swift the police, particularly, you'll be surprised at how swift the police will fall in line, because the police are duty now for uphold the law and for protect the government of the day. And this is the difficulty. How do you get that transition? And that is where we're going to have the problem. The problem is not there's going to be violence before the election. I have said that, and I think it is normal that you have violence, because this is about people and welfare and what people feel very strongly about. So there's going to be violence. Whether they chair poster and do that. But there was a time when electioneering was a good season. People then go come out, then go dance, then go sing, then go do the rally. But when you stop all that, you stop the people from venting their emotions, and that vent when they stop them from venting their emotions is going to be converted to violence. I'm sorry, but that's where I see it.
The last question I'll go ask you, ask this to one journalist yesterday. Who do you think stand a better chance, Samoa Kamara and Mada Bio, for the election of 2023, June 24th?
Without a doubt, Samoa Kamara stand a better chance.
Why? Because yesterday, when we talk to the journalist, he basically say the incumbents get edge. The incumbent don't do a lot of things them way Samoa no going for do. The incumbents he don't get experience in terms of governance, whereas Samoa no ever gets experience in terms of governance. He just done the work in different offices them. So of course, Marabio get edge over Samoa Kamara.
The boy, you're a younger man. Politics does not work like that. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised that Samoa Kamara will pull votes in Abo, Kenema. And you get to understand, say, if you're talking about game changer, the signing of Charles Magai is the game changer.
So that thing we talked about yesterday, you say Charles Magai no will create any impact compared to that of Kande Yumkela.
Charles Magai has more say, more impact than Kande Yumkela will ever dream of getting.
And we will see a press release come out from the Magai family to disassociate themselves from Charles Magai in action.
Yes, press release will come out from Magai family, because the Magai family not in Charles Magai, they depend on. Whose press release will come out from Magai family? Magai family, Charles Magai, they represent. Charles Magai represents more and more Mende people them in the southeast, and they represent the Mende people where they're disenfranchised. The press release will come out from the Magai family probably will be something where they get one cousin where they say, "Bo, not join that man or that man, this, that. You see, some people see the APC as a perennial enemy, or they see the SLPP as their opposition for life. So they not ever they look at any situation. This is not the reason we make a respect Charles Magai in decision. He looked at the situation and realized, say, the only place where I would go, we can go APC and join them because I want change. Joining SLPP now is not going to bring the change which Charles Magai they look for. And Charles Magai,
I listened to Hassan Faki yesterday. It basically talks the weight of President Bio no go. You know, go compare that to Samoa Kamara. We make President Bio to actually beat Samoa Kamara flat.
Well, Hassan Faki will talk that because he support President Bio. Me, I look the situation from where it is. You see, Samoa Kamara get people appeal. Samoa Kamara no get political appeal. He get the people's voice and the people's yearning for Siam in the position. And you know, say Samoa Kamara no get experience because I don't need to talk. Manabio was over 20 years unemployed when he became president. He don't get job, but he became president. So, not to matter man the time whether they become president. Now God did create whether they become president. And the fact that Donald Trump is still popular in America, but at one time he get in America. He not be two-term president. So there is no guarantee say he will be two-term president. Samoa Kamara appeal, and as far as he don't appeal to Sam Sumana, he don't appeal to and Charles Magai. These are the two main detractors. KKY lost out because going back to the SLPP make people realize that this man is in it for himself. He is not true to the thing they talk about, say, oh, this is that. When politicians begin to say, get certain ideals, they got to do something, we go against those ideals, you should lose confidence, man. And that is what is going to happen. I hope, say, the APC get an act together and take the campaign as a political party, not as a campaign of individuals. I hope say the SLPP open the space so that the people then will get a choice for determining who that is. That is not guaranteed say that for vote 90% and vote for SLPP. If that is the case, then we might as well not do election Nabo. Now just left and normal say, okay, we don't vote Nabo, we don't vote. You see, we get for open we mind to the possibilities that exist. Man then go there, Bo, Puja, Moyamba, we go say, okay, this three they vote Samuel Alosi. That man after all now bikini married. Now this is not the game changer. You do look at waiting the happy, waiting obvious, you look at waiting hidden. Samuel Kamara and Wef Mende, and they don't married for over 20 years. So you see somebody who don't live with Mende people and the Mende man where you get in Pekin, and they try to say this now with Bualo now. And Bualo they not take a joke. Not like the one at the north. The one I know that I take Bualo joke. The one at the south, Bualo they take a joke because first of all, when you go marry the woman, so they get question what they ask you. If you don't answer that question, they correct. You know they give you the woman. So that makes them know so voice would they give so would they give you for good. And that's why they don't give Samoa Kamara away. So we say me an APC man. We confident in the flag bearer and the presidential aspirant we will get. We know say APC stand a better chance for win. I'm sorry we don't look at some of the issues, but I think say what the issues we want for really raise up this issue about Charles Magai standing upright and standing for conviction. And Charles Magai, people for understand say Charles Magai.
So what I want to ask you. Because I just make reference to certain individual them, it go fine for where you didn't make your points, you get sporting way as well. I need a debate for you. That's not the obvious thing. I need debate for you. Once we talk about the issue, let we get other people them as well where they get contrary view, and then we get the discussion where we go more fine, So please ask that next week we'll try for scheduling for next week, whilst we get them fixed, and then we go able to get that kind of unique morning show where everybody go on for you.
Well, I'll be happy to oblige. Make it this in a table available.
Okay, so I will talk to my producer and then it will try for each one to let we schedule with you and schedule with another person and then we come and see how the debate goes like.
No problem, we're ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you, God bless you, and thank you for you joining me inside the program this morning. We appreciate your time with us, and I know say a lot of people don't listen because I just see the comment section, they root for you, they thank you, they God bless you, you write on points, correct, and a lot of things. So I go like for you another view again whilst we get you with somebody else for discuss the issue. Thank you very much. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. But all I said was the way I saw it. I was here and I see and talk.
Okay, all right, that's good. Well, thank still, you. In as much as you see and talk, you get a lot of people them way get way out and they look at the whole thing. That is obvious. Salon right now.
They don't say see and talk, no problem.
Salon right now as you talk so. As you talk, so then they label you.
Yes.
But anyway, that is why I will forget a debate for you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Good day.
Yes. Yeah. Goodbye.
Well, I think the show been nice this morning, and I'm happy that we get to a show like this. You know, I honestly look forward for see how we can get debates, you know, for this. Well, in him na Titus Boy Thompson, in a senior big man, you know, we don't work in different, you know, area them. He gets communication expertise, you know, economics, you know, all of them things that they don't get. And in the brain behind the office of the First Lady for make it be functional. So we want to tell them thank you for joining me inside the program today where we discuss this issue. The producer for this program na Ilya Sabah. My name na Sembe Pierre, the Freedom Fighter. Until we meet again inside another beautiful edition of a program we call Kores. One more thing, God bless we all, and especially to you, we don't watch, we don't like, don't share, and you, we don't subscribe to we. We thank you very, very much. Goodbye. God bless we country. We'll see again and next by God in power inside our program where we call Weird. Another morning again inside Weird. Plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the Wahala we had, I just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. So man really like for it in the morning.